Leo.
Bula, Bula again.
Bula again.
And very good afternoon. Back at the Tumbakula. Nice to meet you. So, this little Talanoa, only about Malevu Village. But you can see that Malevu Village is a village nearby, just around the corner. Malevu is another way of trapping the fish that ancestors have to done by the time. There was no fishing lines, nets or fishing hooks. So we have to walk up on the hills, get some long sticks up there, get some bush streams, and take it right down to the sea. Dig all those sand up and tie all those sticks one by one to make a circle and also made an entrance. So when the tide's in, like more fishes they comes in. So some they enter the Malevu. So when the tide's out, so the fish doesn't know where the entrance to go out again. So they traps inside the Malevu. Malevu is another way of trapping a fish. So you could see that more girls from the other 13 province, when they come to Malevu village, they also traps in the village. They marry Malevu boys. So they live forever now. If you go around the island, you could see many different girls. They stay in the Malevu village from other province. There are 13 provinces around the country. They married boys from Malevu, they stay. Build their own houses. Like we've got our own land, so we build our own house to form a village. And remember that as we are born Christian, I think all Fijians are born Christian. And also like staying in the village, you walk over at the Malevu village, you could see, we are not allowed to put a fence around the house. Like keep the doors open. See? If having breakfast in the morning, if someone go past by, you call him her to breakfast. Like you run out of sugar, you could see that. Next door is open to you. Like Christian country, like we ever help one another, look after one another, help the older people, orphanage, whatever they needed to be helped. So that's our part to help them. As we are Christian, like older peoples, that we don't send old people's home in the village, have to look after them. Look after them in the village, look after your mom and dad, uncle, auntie. You must look after them. Not like other countries. They send old people's home, sending their mother, their dad to the old people's home. But not like in the Fijian village. It's much different. And also that in the village we've got a tradition and our culture. Like this province is not our province, we got our own chief. There are 14 provinces in Fiji, and also with 14 different dialects. So there is only one dialect communicated the whole province around the country. We call it the bound dialect, or like the real Fijian dialect, like Bula. So Bula is the dialect communicated the whole province around the country. So it's not the dialect in the Narragansett province. So that's why we send the children to school every day. Like we haven't got any schools in Malevu. We have 2 schools on the way down to town. So we must send the children to school every day where they learn mostly the 2 dialects. English and that real Fijian dialect, like Bula. Bula is the dialect communicated the whole province around the country. It's not the dialect in Narragansett province. So in this province we say Bula, we say Zola. Like Bula Vinaka, we say Zola Vina. We take out 2 words from the Vinaka in our provincial dialect. We have nothing to worry about our provincial dialect. We learn it from mom and dad at home. We learn it from mom and dad. We are worried about that real Fijian dialect and English. Those are the main dialects that was used. Like the 14th chief in Fiji, that we don't appoint any chief. Remember that all chiefs comes from the family tree. Come from that line, from that root. You know, like in England, when the queen passed away, everybody go to the eldest son. It's like that in Fiji. We don't appoint any chief. That also that in Fiji, that all chiefs, that also that we live in tribes. The chief got his own servants. They are the servants' tribe, the warriors' tribes, the craftsmen's tribe, priests' tribe. That we live in tribes. When the chief comes over to the village, so you know where to sit. when the chief is in the house. If you're a servant, you serve. You warriors carry clubs and spears, look after your chief. Fishermen, do fishing for the chief. Craftsmen, they do craft work, the skills do craft works. That we live in tribes. That all children must be get registered and registered to the tribes. Because in Fiji that we got tribes. Like the peoples in Australia, white peoples in Australia, they don't have tribes. Right? Only Aborigines, they got tribes. Like the Maori peoples, they got tribes in New Zealand. Also like Fiji, that we live in tribes. So another tribes in Fiji is the fire walking tribes. Not every Fijians do fire walking. Eh? Only those tribes, they do fire walking tribes. So I must say that my dad might get burnt because it's not my tribes. Eh? That's especially for those tribes, the fire walking tribes. Then you could see that around the country, that's French Indians who live around the country. England brought all these Indians to Fiji as a labor. Comes and works over the sugarcane. Like year 2000, there are many leases in Fiji being expired after the 99 years lease. So many Indians, they live in the country just because of the land lease. So it's up to the owner of the land. If you make good friends, so you can renew the leases. Eh? Might coming down to 20 or to 10 years. You can make a residential lease just for the house to stay in, but no more gardening, no more farming. So that's a little bit of how that we live in Fiji. Eh? Like Malevu Village. Malevu is another way that that's how we live, works together, helping one another. So staying in the village like Malevu Village, so from the village meeting, also we appoint a man, like the village spokesman, to look after all the peoples in the village, whatever to be done in the village. See, cleaning up the lawn, or any visitors comes over to the village, there is the one that was chosen by the village spokesman. So individual village, we've got a village spokesman. And also like Malevu Village, that we belongs to the Methodist Church. Methodist Church is the one who splits away from the Anglican Church of England. And we form the Methodist. So we could see that traveling around the island, we could see that one village, one church. Also, yes, we are Christians, so mostly we belong to the Methodist Church of Fiji. Eh? So in the village that we got our church, it's blown down by the cyclone 2009. So at the moment now we're raising some fund to build a new church. So it's up to the money that we raised from the fund for the last fund on the Easter Monday. We're raising some fund. So maybe this month we try to build a new church. It's a wooden church been blown down by the cyclone in 2009. Like 2009, that same year, January, big storms also around the country. That you could see that the railway bridge in town was washed away by those heavy storms, heavy floods. 2009, the cyclone on December that same year, that mostly affected more villages around the coral coast of Fiji. That's right, a big problem for those farmers. They're growing sugarcane on the other side of the river, and no way to transport the sugarcane right down to the mill. It's a big problem now. As you could see that the European Union helped Fiji a lot, making new roads, hospitals, a new bridge, health centers made by the European Union. So at the moment you could see the bridge is still like that. Let's see, 2014, they just put on, yesterday they just put on the constitutions. So we just to look after the constitutions of general elections coming on 2014. So we're looking forward to that, to a party who will be taking over the governance on 2014. Thank you very much. I'm Timothy Kunalawaki from Malevu Village. Unaka.
Superb. Superb. I only want to hear the story. No talk from me, just you. And your English is perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. It's Fiji style English. And this is very